Hello, hello.
Howdy, everybody. Welcome to Breaking Hyman with
Lori Amber.
and Morgan.
It's a surprise every time. I'm like, oh, that's me.
Oh, yeah, right. I'm
Right.
on a podcast and shit.
We're doing stuff.
So we don't have a guest because we're just going to talk about kind of how we met and just kind of have a conversation with us because we did 13 episodes of audio only that are on Spotify. So if you look...
And on Morgan Hyman Comedy on YouTube.
Yes, that is true. So you can watch those. There's no video, so you can't see our beautiful mugs. But
Yeah, they're my
but
favorites.
yeah. So, but we're gonna kind of redo some of those episodes. We can't do them exactly the same as we did before. I'm setting a timer here,
Cool.
but if I can figure my stoned ass can figure that out. But yeah, so. You've been doing comedy a little over a year-ish. I'm a little over 2 years. So we're both pretty inexperienced comics, especially considering we're both in our 40s. But it's something fun. The comedy community here is cool. How did you find it, Lori?
Brad Bogle. Shout out to
Bogey,
Brad.
he will be
Bogey.
on a future episode soon.
Yes,
Guitarist,
he is a
funny
man
guy.
of many talents.
Great guy.
Yeah, he makes beautiful instruments. He plays instruments beautifully, and he occasionally does stand-up comedy. And he had been going to the show from Laugh Hub City at the Lantern.
Yeah, and I
at
met him
Cafe
at
J.
Bar PM whenever I was hosting, or either maybe before when Val Burba was hosting. But yeah, Brad is a fucking great guy. And anybody that plays guitar is going to be my friend.
Right.
Especially like an older dude who's just super chill like Brad, you know.
And shameless plug, Andres' Backyard Orchestra, my husband's band.
Yeah.
Brad.
Check him out.
is
I've
the lead
jammed with him.
guitar.
Great group of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
But so that he kept saying, like, you got to come do this because we'd hang out.
and you
and
had
I'd
been
make
in
him
the
laugh.
audience a few times. I remember at Lantern with Brad.
And finally, like at the end of the night, Durbin was hosting that night, and I was like, "Can I get up there and just?"
Had you been drinking? That's okay.
I think the podcast, except for that Back to the Future one, is the only time you see me not drinking is when we do the
wow,
podcast.
okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty much always drinking.
Okay,
There's
cool.
your PSA. The more you know. And look where it's got me. Yeah.
Hey, a podcast with a divorced, not washed up. I'm not even. I'm
You're
not
barely getting out of the tub.
Yeah, no. Yes. So I started comedy the week after I separated from my wife. She asked me to move out of the house because I made a very reasonable offer of, hey, let's separate because you're a drunk who's making me miserable. No. Present company excluded.
Yeah.
No, she was drunk pills, hoarding, just everything. We owned a house, and I was like, we should sell this house and maybe separate for a while. And then, So she asked me to move out because she didn't like that offer. And so I started doing comedy.
He's a people pleaser.
Fuck people.
He was a people pleaser.
In particular. But I started doing comedy just because me and her had a friend group that was very integrated. And I wanted to meet some new people. So I'm like, what better way? And seriously, first night I did comedy, I met Tori Lane, who is no longer in Lubbock. I think she's in Shreveport, Louisiana. Hilarious, awesome. First person to talk to me.
Nice. And I never got to see her do stand-up.
Do you know her, though?
Yes, I do.
Amazing human being. Awesome artist, awesome musician.
I know her through Gypsy Jane.
Yes. They were married for a little while.
They were.
But Tori was amazing. Imagine me about, I don't know, 100 pounds heavier than I am now. Literally 100 pounds heavier.
Yeah. And that's not counting the wife.
In a big oversized... not oversized then, shirt that says MTV. Well, Tori was also wearing a shirt that says MTV, and she's like, oh, cool. And she talked to me. And then after the show, Derek was probably the biggest laugh. He laughed at some of my jokes harder than anybody. And I met Rafa and Curtis. All those people are my friends now. Also met Selena. She was hosting the show. Fuck her, though. Sorry, I just have to.
I've made my stance pretty clear.
We just we have a really good community. We don't have to edit that out.
Yeah. No, I said we can talk more about that.
We don't have to.
I said the other thing.
But so I just really, and then I met Haley Newman. I met Josh Sines later within the Red Giles. All Well,
Red.
amazing people. I met you
Yeah.
a year into doing comedy. Val Burba was great. She hosted the Bar PM show and then asked me to take it over.
Yeah.
2 months after I'd started comedy, which is fucking nuts,
But awesome.
yeah, and
Yeah.
that really gave me a stake in local comedy, and I've been doing it at least once a week, sometimes 3 or 4 times a week for the last 2 years. Except
Nice.
for when I had my surgery, that was, you know.
Well, I
was
mean,
out
you were
for a
still
little
keeping
bit.
us entertained.
Yeah, seriously, yeah.
But yeah, so that everybody you just mentioned and everyone you didn't, whatever that means, but the comic community, so fucking cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Even like, obviously, there's a couple of people I'm not huge
Doesn't
fans
matter.
of now, but even in the beginning, they were very, very nice.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, not everybody
know.
gets along. Even my
Yeah.
friends don't get along with each other.
Yeah, but
You know?
as comics, everyone's really
Yeah.
supportive.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And just showing up for each other, you know, is
Yeah.
so super cool.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I always, up until recently, I always tried to support everything everybody did
Yeah.
in Lubbock comedy. But if they don't support me, you know, fuck them. But
Yeah.
and it's not about like sucking my dick or anything. It's just about like being cool and
it's not
being.
Louis C.K. we're talking about.
No, he didn't. Hey, he just jerked off in front of
Right,
women that
right.
didn't want him to. He never made any. Whatever.
Well,
he
hardly
did
ever. I
he
don't
did
know.
gross things.
Yeah, I mean,
But,
who hasn't, right?
yeah.
But
But what was your perception of the first time you did comedy? Like, was it like, I love that, I want to do that again?
Hooked.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely. Just basically, because I'm not. I've always wanted to be a performer, but I don't have any talents. So, like, I can't sing. I can't
Sometimes
dance.
talking
I don't-
is a talent.
And well, sometimes. I need to learn the one about not talking, and that's also a talent. But
You know, like,
that ship
say
has
less,
sailed.
brah, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
As the
but
kids say.
it like spotlight and a stage and a microphone.
Yeah.
and
It's fun. It feels cool.
And and it's funny looking back now. Like the first time I tried to do a set, you had to tell me to get off the stage.
I mean, it wasn't
somebody
person- it
needed
was-
to,
yeah.
and you were the hero that finally, after
I mean,
10 minutes of
I'm
me
no
just.
hero.
Blah blah
Yeah.
blah because I didn't know.
Yeah,
what
the light.
Yeah,
You're
I
like, is
didn't-
someone taking pictures of me?
I truly, I was up there thinking, I guess Selena records these because she's got her
Yeah.
phone. I didn't know that was the
Yeah,
light. I was
and
supposed to
as
be looking for.
as you said, you had been drinking, so it didn't really like.
Yeah.
Oh wait, there's a time limit. I'm just done when I'm done. And as a host, and I wasn't hosting that
Yeah.
night. I had to pull this kid off stage the other night because he brought a shitload of friends, and he's like, "No, just 2 more minutes." I'm like, "Dude, I gave you the light a minute ago, 2
Yeah.
minutes ago,"
Yeah.
and he just kept going. I'm like, "Dude, you don't get 9 minutes just because you brought a bunch of your friends that left immediately when you were done."
Right, yeah.
It's everybody gets the same amount of time unless they're my friend and they can go a little longer, but. Don't tell anybody. Only
Yeah.
Rafa gets that. And then if
That-
somebody talks to me beforehand.
Yeah.
But I don't know what this kid's going to say. No one was laughing at him. You know?
Yeah.
It's, yeah.
I don't know. I was not a good audience member on
whatever.
Thursday.
You know,
Well,
whatever.
because I wanted to.
It's a social
talk-
event, too.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about getting people on this podcast.
Yeah.
And so I was running around.
Hey, business minded.
Yes,
Business
yes.
minded.
I'm nothing if not focused.
Yeah.
No, I'm nothing.
We make no money off this
None,
podcast.
none.
Roy only gets
Roy
enough to
loses
pay
a
for.
little for
yeah,
us.
he pays for his equipment and stuff. But I support his Patreon. I give him $5 a month, so that's
Ooh,
my
big
contribution.
Spender. Yeah, I can
Maybe, I
afford
think
that.
it's 5.
I do. I don't want to say how little I.
Whatever, it doesn't matter. He
But I
doesn't-
will say this:
He
it is
produces us.
one of 2 Patreons I support.
Yeah.
and the other one is not a local comic.
Is
or
it an
local anybody.
OnlyFans?
No.
No, I support
He
a few
has lots
Patreons.
of other fans.
Yeah, okay.
No, it's actually Steve Hofstetter
Oh, cool. Okay,
Yeah,
comic. He's like an Indiana Midwest comic.
in Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh,
And
okay, that's close enough to the Midwest.
he's doing some really interesting stuff
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
He's selling himself.
Like literally.
Literally, you can buy shares of his, basically like stock market. You can buy.
Oh,
shares.
so I can't pay like $20 and butt fuck him one time if I get a plane ticket to Pittsburgh.
Probably not for 20. I mean, he's
200,
selling
Steve?
out theaters. You know.
He's come here to Jake's.
Yeah, and
yeah.
that's probably the worst show or like the lowest quantity of people he's had.
Oh, really?
in
It wasn't a big
5
turnout?
years. Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Well, I mean,
No,
if he
it
comes
was-
back to Lubbock, we should get him on
Yeah.
because we have had pro comics on the audio version.
We have Matt Farrell.
My friend Matt Farrell, who I'm trying to get some stuff going with soon.
He's
hopefully.
got, he's working it.
yeah.
MattFarrell.com, Matt
think
Farrell
so.
comedy all across the board.
Yeah, not My Peacock Comedy. Well, I was on his festival back in April.
Yeah, well, he is trying to, he's looking for donations and supporters for a new big show.
Yeah,
And
I think he's
so-
planning to film a special, which
Help
is
a
awesome.
brother out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2 R's TL, 2 L's, two R's. I almost said
2
TRL.
T's, 2 R's, 2 L's.
Well, there's always 2 T's in Matt. If you're a Matt with 1 T,
Call us.
That's-
Call into the show.
yeah, it's a call-in show now. Yeah, no, I have met a few Matts with 1 T, and I'm like, why not just? Do you just
know if
say
I
it?
have.
Is it just Matt versus Matt?
Matt.
It's like it reminds me of that Mitch Hedberg joke. It's like I had a girlfriend named Lynn, and then I had another girlfriend named Lynn, but one of them spelled it with 1 N, and the other one spelled it with 2 N's. And if I said Lynn longer, she got mad at me, which is funny because my mom's name is Lynn.
Shout out to Hedberg.
Yeah,
Hedberg.
Hedberg. Yeah.
Hedberg.
So, what do you want to do with comedy? What is your
A
kind
podcast. No.
Oh, hey, you know what? That gives us the chance to talk
Well, and
way
that,
more than 6 minutes at a time.
right. And I think I'm funnier than I am on stage.
Well, sometimes
On-
people are really funny in conversation,
Yeah.
and
And
honing that
yeah.
into a bit.
So what I have sort of in this past year
Mm-hmm.
gathered is that there are a lot of talented comedians in Lubbock, and they're doing the work. I'm not going to do that.
I'm not doing that much work.
Well,
There's not much that can be done here.
well, but that's the thing. Going to Amarillo,
oh
going
yeah,
to
yeah. I went to Midland last night.
Midland, going to Clovis. But you've done
Yeah.
shows in
San Angelo. This is where I've been paid to do comedy. San Angelo, Midland. I was on a paid show for Big Spring, but I had a wreck on the way.
Oh yeah. I remember that. That was
And Lubbock and Amarillo. So I mean, that's like 4 or 5 places that I've been paid to do comedy.
Let's back up a step.
Okay.
Paid, right, to do comedy. That's not even in my vocabulary
Oh, well,
as
okay.
for me as a comic. Like, because
Yeah.
I'm only doing open mics.
But I
you
mean,
know,
that's
and-
where a lot of comics have to start
Right.
for years and years. Doing
But
open
and then they
mics.
do the work.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, you've done the work. And
A little bit.
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm bad at I work a full-time job. Most of us do, except for trophy wives.
I'm working on it. By the way, if you want to hire me to do not
Comedy?
much.
Yeah.
Ooh, that'd be awesome.
Wait, what were you gonna say?
Well, not
Hire you to do
anything,
what?
but
Yeah, hire her to do comedy.
I'm good at paperwork.
Yeah, you can make sandwich. Are you a sandwich
Oh,
artist?
God damn it. Not anymore.
Make tasty sandwiches
That's
for your
Subway.
husband
I
and
worked
kid.
at Schlotsky's.
Oh, Schlotsky's, okay.
But yeah, so
There,
and I've got-
there's like just eat. You don't have to
Yeah.
eat fresh. Just eat.
just eat. No,
I would prefer Schlotsky's to Subway.
yeah,
They're better. They
I
got pizzas.
But man, it's pricey.
Yeah.
But
I got academic advisor money.
right, yeah. and I'm
weekend
unemployed.
paid comedy. I didn't get paid to go to Midland last night. That was just a fun trip.
But okay, so and I've got my kid that
Yeah.
I've talked about.
Yeah, you got a
special
kid.
needs, and so like staying overnight in places.
How
is-
special are the needs? Does he like?
Oh,
is he
they are
bedridden?
Special. No, he
I
is
make
high
fun.
functioning.
No, I don't
and
have to-
But no, it's a fair question to be.
No, I've met him.
Yeah, but
We haven't like chilled or
to the,
anything, but
to the well,
yet we will.
He so wants. We're gonna do an audio one more audio podcast
Yes.
with him, a short one.
Yeah.
because he's very technologically inclined.
Cool.
And is really excited, but I don't trust him with Roy's equipment, so we're not bringing him here.
yeah, no fancy cameras.
Yeah, but so I'm not gonna, I have no aspirations of being a traveling comic
Right,
or whatever.
right, yeah.
So getting to do this and actually getting to meet comics anyway,
Oh, it's great.
and when they're coming through town, and
Well, yeah, that's what Chris High
Yeah.
said. The best thing about being a comedian is hanging out with comedians.
absolutely, that's what I felt
And,
like.
yeah. Mm.
It is so nice to be able to just talk to people and say really
And-
funny shit without having to apologize.
And from the local comics, all the way to like, I have briefly met like a few famous-ish touring comics. Like I met Dan Soder, I met Ralph Barbosa, Shane
Nice.
Torres,
Wow.
Brian Posehn. All the
shit.
nicest fucking people.
Right.
They're the nicest fucking people across the board.
Right.
And I mean, you know, if I wanted to like say, hey, let's go smoke a doob in my car, you know, that wouldn't be weird.
Right.
But, you know, they're busy guys.
Right.
But you know, I met, what's his name?
Not Daniels.
Chad Daniels. I met
No
Chad Daniels.
shit.
Well, it was after a show. It wasn't like you know, I just ran into him on the street. I saw him in Springfield, Missouri over the summer. And he was very nice. He was super cool. And, you know, a lot of comics are just like, yeah, you know, I'll talk to you about comedy for a couple minutes, you know,
Right.
whatever. If you know, and I hate to be like, I'm a comic, but I've been doing it fucking 2 years. I can say it.
Well,
I feel like.
you actually can say, you know, I host an open mic.
Yeah,
That's,
yeah,
you know, that's
yeah.
something.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell them it's in Lubbock, but
Sure. Well, I mean, I want Lubbock to be on people's
Right.
radar too, because I mean, comics come here. We have,
it would.
you know,
I
here.
hope we're getting closer to a time where
Yeah.
Lubbock could actually have a comedy club
Yeah,
again.
because we have the big Buddy Holly where Kreischer, Segura,
Right.
fucking Kevin James will do shows there.
Yeah.
But then we have nothing in between until like you're down
Until
to bar
it's like-
shows
yeah,
for maybe a couple hundred people. Like I think Matt Farrell probably sold 150 maybe at Jake's,
yeah.
which is great. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what, $10 a head. That's $1,500. I mean, you know, if you're doing math,
It's a hell of a lot more than I'm making.
yeah. Well, you know, you don't have a job right now. It's cool.
Yeah,
You know,
but-
hire her. By the way,
I mean, you know, if it's not hard.
yeah, exactly. But
And if I like the out, no, I'm kidding.
yeah, but it's so much fun. What do you skew to as far as like your sense of humor, your comedy?
I would say like the darker.
I've got a few of those written down.
Excellent.
I want to talk about some bits if you want to.
I'm not talking race. Okay.
Oh no. You can do dark
Jokes.
humor about race, but you can do dark humor about dead children. You know, I've got one of those. So
You know, and apparently, like, I don't want to keep shitting on my kid on stage, but it's
okay.
what I get laughs with.
well, you talk about every
I mean,
comic.
we're not laughing at him. We're
No,
laughing at me
yeah.
dealing with him.
Exactly. It's
I hope. And fuck you if you're laughing at a special needs kid.
I mean, they can be pretty funny.
I can do that. I'm his mom.
But
Oh, he's hilarious.
yeah,
On
of course
purpose,
he
yeah.
is. Of course he is. All
sometimes,
you know. That's
yeah.
why we don't kill the disabled because
That's
they're
why
pretty
a lot
entertaining.
of comics are on the spectrum.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. If
Tell me Stephen Wright's not autistic. I mean,
Jason Cave's autistic. I mean,
Well, yeah,
a little
but-
bit, but it's
We're all
high.
a little-
I mean, we don't
what
have
does Heist
full
call
on.
it?
Do what?
Heist has a word.
Oh,
for it.
half Asperger's.
Yeah,
half
half
Asperger's
Asperger's, yeah.
genius. Yeah,
Yeah.
Chris Heist, 100% on the spectrum, but it's just weird little ticks, you know, things that make us funny. I maybe have some of that. I'm kind of weird in some ways, but I'm lucky that I didn't get abused as a child or anything. So, you know.
You
It makes people
you sound
funnier.
a little
Disheartened.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
right.
like, why
I mean,
didn't-
my dad died when I was fairly young. I mean, in my 20s, but still, it can fuck you up when you're not a real man yet, and the only real man in your life dies.
I don't.
Yeah.
I have yet. Well, I don't know. Never mind. I was
Okay.
going to address real men, but never mind.
There's not many of us.
I got one, and I'm trying to keep him. So
a real man isn't a guy with a gun that will kick somebody's ass. A real man is just somebody that like takes care of their responsibilities. Just like that's what a real person is. Real
yeah.
men can suck wieners if they're gay. Real men,
Yeah.
real gay men, whatever. So. We're getting off topic
yeah,
here,
we are.
but
Dark humor.
But dark humor. So I had a joke, and it's kind of a throwaway. It's like a dumb one-liner. I would say, you know, me and my ex-wife had a child that that he died as an infant of SIDS, and his name was Sid.
Yeah.
It's just a stupid, you know. And some lady last night I got a couple of laughs, and then a couple of people were like, and I'm like, no, it's okay. You can laugh at my fictional baby.
Right,
it's fine.
right. That's the thing.
I never impregnated anyone. You know, thank fucking God.
I have a dear friend that actually lost a child.
Oh,
from
did I
SIDS.
impregnate your child?
No.
Or your friends?
No,
with a child?
It's not always about you, Morgan.
Oh shit! No, so if she had
Fucking
been in
Morgans, man. What
have
is it
you?
with them?
If she was in the audience, would she have laughed or would she?
No,
Okay.
it would have fucked her up.
Well, tell her not to come to comedy shows.
I know, right? Well, and she was going to come next Thursday.
I won't tell that joke.
Right. No, I mean, but But she also has an excellent sense of humor, and she probably would not be angry at you.
Right, yeah. She comes up and punches me afterwards. Like, I have
but her husband might.
Yeah. Well, like, I'll make jokes about car accidents, and that's how my dad died. He killed a guy in a car accident who then killed him. See, that's a joke. My dad died in a car accident.
And I guess, like we've talked before about censorship, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
Everything is going to, someone is going to have an experience and you cannot plan for that. You cannot. And most of the jokes you told crack me up. And then that one, when I heard it the other, I was like, because that's all I could think about.
Yeah.
It was just like, what if she was here?
And it's funny.
And that's not.
Because sometimes it's those over the line kind of taboo things. And that's not even that good of a joke. It's really not. But
make it better. And
exactly. But here's another one, because I just want to. This is a joke I'm probably not gonna do from stage again. I don't know. I might try it again. But I last name Hyman, Jewish last name, whatever. I've got jokes about that. But I said, I would make a terrible trans person because as somebody, as a Jewish person, I'm going to try and get the discount. Like, I had gastric sleeve surgery in Mexico. I'm going to go down there and get my dick chopped off, or I'm going to buy testosterone on eBay and it's going to fucking, kill me.
Yeah,
I have a pulmonary embolism because I'm cheap. I'm not that cheap. I just bought a new guitar. Used.
Hey. Yeah, so did my husband. What a coincidence.
Yeah, I sold him my old guitar. Yeah. Sorry. I mean, hopefully that isn't food out of you and your kid's mouth.
Of course not.
He's like, we're not eating this month because I bought a guitar.
I needed a fifth guitar.
Yeah. Fifth? I've got like 12. I'll have more. I can sell him.
We have a kid. Why do I have to keep telling you this?
I'm sorry. I don't have any.
Me too. No. I love him.
Yeah, of course he is. Is he watching this? Does he watch the podcast?
I asked him, and he said no.
Okay. He's like, I'm not interested in you, Mom. I want to see how I can climb you to fame and fortune via podcast.
He says he wants to come see me perform comedy.
That's the thing about autistic people. They're smart. He wants to climb you to get to podcast fame and fortune. Duh.
Yes.
That's how Rain Man did it.
Oh, yeah,
Isn't that the origin story? They hit it big in Vegas?
Yeah.
I stopped watching the movie halfway through.
It's okay. Autistic people hate Rain Man.
I know they do, because it's not
accurate.
That's hard. That's the hard autism.
Yeah. And there's some savantism going on.
Yeah, not everybody. And they used to call that idiot savant. They call it autistic savant now. Because saying an idiot.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, idiot savant is not a term anymore. Just like if you wouldn't call like a intersex person a hermaphrodite. The more you know. If you're referring to like Greek gods, Hermaphrodites, I think is that one of them?
What do you call
LGBTQIA?
No.
Okay, sorry.
It's more like LGBTQ. No, it's not LGBT anything. Okay. The Russell Cooper always talks about it. The famously hermaphrodite. Actress.
that would be called intersexed. If you have both.
Who am I talking about?
Jamie Lee Curtis, and that is a bald-faced lie. Jamie Curtis is a beautiful lady and always has been.
But that's not a lie.
No, it is. It is. That is not a real thing. That's a rumor that got, just like Richard Gere and the hamster up his butt. No one has confirmed that. Jamie Lee Curtis, her parents never. No.
Oh.
She is infertile. She is infertile. Her name is Jamie. And somebody said she has a mannish face, and they're like, those three. I
really thought
not
that
true.
was
it's not
facts.
True.
Okay,
nope.
And since I really thought that's
why
usually the first indication that it's not accurate.
My favorite thing about Russell's joke is like, it's in the New England Journal of Medicine. It reminds me of this Patton Oswalt joke. He's like, here's some facts about midgets. These are in Discover magazine. Don't dispute me. Or Scientific America or whatever.
Yeah. So it's how to perform a lobotomy, but we know that that's not a way to go anymore.
Was that with the how they did the Kennedy girl?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a cool documentary, I think, about that guy, or a podcast or something.
Oh,
yeah, that guy ice pick lobotomies.
Yeah.
Fucking asshole.
I don't think it was one guy. I think it was a systematic.
Well, this guy perfected the technique, and he's the one. No, he's okay. He taught other people how to do it. That's how he made money. I forget what his name was. G.E. Dickface. I don't know. He had initials.
Dr. Hole Punch.
Yeah, Dr. Hole Punch. But and there's a podcast called The Dollop, which is like a weird American history. They'll like talk about like the Elephant Man or the circus. Or it's an amazing podcast. It's one of my favorites because I love history, I love comedy, and it's hosted by two.
Yeah.
But there's this other guy who had a radio station in Brownsville, Texas.
Okay.
But the tower was on the other side on the Mexican border.
Okay.
So they couldn't control. He seriously, he was an infertility doctor. There's a documentary about him called Nuts. And he would take.
I'm sorry. Don't smoke, kids.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah. Documentary called Nuts.
That's
and
what
he
I thought
was
you
a
said.
doctor, and he was a fertility doctor, and he would cut open men's abdomens and probably just sew them back up. But he claimed that he would put goat testicles because the potency of the goat testicles would make your testicles work. And there were guys who like testimonies, and he made so much money. He made so much money. Testimony. That's what you call money made from. He made so much money. He had his own radio station. He had the Carter. This is like in the 40s and 50s. He had the Carter family would come out and do radio stuff with him. I think maybe Johnny Cash.
I've heard a lot about Johnny Cash.
Yeah, his name was like
stuff,
Dr. Dildo Brown or something. There's a documentary about him called Nuts. Watch it. It's amazing. It's on. We played it at Alamo Drafthouse. It's great.
Remind me.
I will. I'll send you a link.
Look.
Nuts documentary, NUTS.
Nuts doc.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so fucking good. But yeah, and that's how, I don't know what got me off on that, but the Dollop podcast. Yeah, lobotomy, ice pick lobotomy. Yeah. The other JFK had a sister, was it Rosemary Rose Kennedy? Yeah. They gave her an ice pick lobotomy, and she only died like in the 90s or 2000s.
And she was mentally disabled a little bit. No,
she was
she was a whore. I mean, she
probably, by all accounts, had bipolar disorder.
Yeah,
just needed to be. But she fucked a lot. She was fucking hot.
She would sneak out.
She was so hot when she was younger.
Was a Kennedy.
Yeah. And it's like those. It's like the.
But she was embarrassing the family. Yeah. So
just like those people. Did you watch that that documentary or the movie with Drew Barrymore and fucking? God damn it! It's Jacqueline Kennedy's cousins that are crazy and they're like hoarders and they live in a house full of cats. Shit.
Were you married to one of them?
No,
You're like, I were stuck with the Kennedy.
Mine was from New England. Mine was from Wyoming. They were from New England.
Right,
mine was from Wyoming.
Well, maybe that's where they sent her after the.
I'll look up that documentary and I'll tell you about it too. It's great.
I watched like the Ken Burns Kennedy.
Oh, I love Ken Burns. These are like, I like the freak show documentaries like that Errol Morris does, where he does documentaries about like pet cemeteries but he actually got a guy off death row with one of his documentaries.
Nice.
Yeah. So but back to comedy.
Right.
It's great and I love the local comedy community. You say more. I'm talking too much.
All right. Well, okay. So the local comedy community, Rafa, dude.
Rafa's the best. Rafa is like the, and he told me something, and I'll tell you off camera.
Y'all heard him told me to talk more, right? Y'all heard that? Okay.
Yeah. He told me something the other day that I'm like, dude, you are like a great fucking guy. Thank you. So supportive. But, yeah. He's the best.
Yeah.
I asked him to come with us last night, but he was like, I'm going to stay home tonight. Yeah.
Saturday night. Mm-hmm. Dude.
And I ain't got nobody.
Okay, this is another complete, but do you know we're getting like a temporary mini moon? I'm not
what do you mean, mini
like
moon?
There's an asteroid that's about to be in orbit, and it's going to be like a second moon for a little bit.
I'm a stoner. I care zero shits for space. I care.
You're not doing it right.
If there's something cool and all I have to do is go outside to see it, I don't fuck with telescopes. Even the last lunar eclipse where you had the special glasses or whatever to look at it, the one that was like awesome.
Yeah, I was working at.
This was earlier this year. This is in April because a lot of people.
I had a job earlier this year.
Yeah, I went outside. I put on these glasses because I work at Texas Tech, so in a science department. So everybody was outside the building. building, and I was like, I can't see it. Fuck this, and I went back inside
Right.
to my office.
It was the drive-through got a little darker
Yeah,
that day,
yeah.
and then it got brighter again.
Really? Yeah. Apparently, you could see it awesome, really well from like Central Texas.
Yeah,
like a lot of people in Brownwood were there that weekend for the festival.
A good friend of mine is the assistant city manager. He's the
Oh,
Dwight of Killeen.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so real close.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Well, it was like they were. They had
tourism.
They kind of shut it down after.
Yeah.
They were
man.
like, before the weekend started,
Yeah.
they're like, all full, Moose out front should have told you.
Yeah, we thought we were going to get a lot of people at the Wild West Comedy Festival that were there for that. We got some. We met some locals. It was a lot of fun. Again, shout out. If they do it next year, Wild West Comedy Fest, they said they want to. I want to be on it.
And where is it?
It is in Early, Texas, and Early and Brownwood are like the same. It was at this place called Los Tres. It's like an Old West, kind of Wild West town.
I like that area.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
Eden, that little town, Eden.
Yeah, I remember.
Beautiful.
I know Eden. Yeah, I
think that's where Brandon Adams from.
Really?
Adams is from.
I
think
like
he's
that
somewhere
dude.
around there. Yeah, dude. He's a
Good,
musician,
great
formerly
singer-songwriter.
local musician, but
and the Sad Bastards, right?
Yeah, Shad Doherty.
Is he no longer local? Is he no longer?
Well, I
in
mean,
Lubbock?
he's just out playing music and
cool.
getting played on the radio and
Yeah,
shit.
shout out to Shad Doherty. He plays with him. Yeah.
Now, Shad's here still.
Shad's here. Well, he has played with him.
Yeah,
well, Shad's played with fucking everybody.
Yeah.
Except for me. I've never played with him. I've just gotten stoned with him.
You know what? He's never jammed with the band.
Oh, he would be
But-
amazing.
Yeah, well,
He's a guy. He's a paid musician. He's
Yeah,
like
that's
I
right,
only pick
yeah.
up my guitar to get paid, and that's how it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I
'Cause
was a
mad
pro
props.
comic, I wouldn't pick up I got to do this shit for free.
Right.
And I'm sure he's done it for free a lot too.
Oh,
Every
yeah.
musician has.
Yeah.
If you're in the arts, you do a lot of shit for free.
Right.
Painting.
Speaking, okay, do you want to talk about carnies?
I want to talk about carnies. Lori just told me she was a carny right before we started the podcast. I want to know when, where, why, and how.
Excellent. I got stories for you. See, okay. When I was 13.
Okay. That's scary.
Yeah.
Just starting your journey into womanhood.
It gets weirder. Okay. Okay. 13 through probably up to 16.
Okay. Those are volatile years.
In the summers, I would go with my dad and travel with Liddell shows in eastern New Mexico. Hobbs, Carlsbad, Portales, Artesia.
Okay. Were
that
these like
circuit.
county fairs?
So sometimes it was a county fair. In Portales, it was a county fair.
Okay.
Sometimes it was like a Sam's Club parking lot in fucking
So
Carlsbad
small
in
time.
June. Jesus, hot.
How many people are we talking are part of this operation total?
So, okay. To give you an idea.
Because I feel like the South Plains Fair that just ended is hundreds of people.
Yes. Now, okay, so what happens when you have something like the South Plains Fair that comes here?
Trucks,
Is
yeah.
all of drugs happen here anyway.
No, I said trucks.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Well,
Yeah.
truckloads of drugs, yes. But it's all these little carnival shows that come in, that travel these summer circuits in little towns, and like the ones you see pop up at the Home Depot parking lot.
So they're not all part of the same thing. You just everybody, we got this,
and you go in under one.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
So,
I thought they were all part of a big thing.
No. Now,
Mind
some
blown.
are bigger than others, obviously, like anything else. And then there are independent people that just have like a dark ride or whatever, which is like a haunted house ride.
Yeah.
right?
No,
And
I
just
think
so we're clear.
I just watched the movie Fun House. Have you ever seen that movie? It's the same guy who directed Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Toby Hooper.
Then yes, I was like, maybe from
awesome
way
movie,
back.
awesome movie.
Way back in the day.
Yeah, like late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah. I was barely,
Yeah, cool
which is
movie.
Okay, before I was a carny, when I was a hillbilly, we moved up there right.
So many great titles.
I was 6 when we moved to the woods.
In Oklahoma?
Yeah. And we had all just seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre before I'm 6, and let's go live in the woods.
Yeah.
Anyway, my parents, fun. Okay, so, and my parents are married.
Met
the whole
your
time.
mom.
Yeah, she's great.
She seems cool. I like her
My
dogs.
dad is. They're both batshit crazy, but my dad.
I
Anyway,
mean, I would assume just by knowing you, your parents probably got to be.
got a lot of
every
character.
generation is better than the last. Like if you met my mom, like she's really, really sweet, but she's kind of homophobic, and Morgan's
Right.
only a little homophobic.
Not at all.
No, I love my gay friends.
You said bi-curious wrong.
Yeah, right. So crazy
okay.
parents. So this was your dad's.
This
thing.
was my dad.
Okay.
He would do it not all year round, but sometimes throughout the year. He started working with a guy that had some rides.
Okay.
I'm sorry, not rides, games.
Okay.
Stick joints.
Okay, so
is
you
what
had a
they're
friend
called.
that had some games.
Yeah,
And hired on with him.
Yeah, well, they weren't friends. He worked for him when the fair
okay.
came to Lubbock, and then went
Okay.
with the show.
Okay, so he would do the South Plains Fair.
Yeah,
Sweet.
So Liddell shows that we would travel with was this small, but so we worked for a guy named Pete Monk, rest his soul. But he had games are called joints, and people that run the games are jointies.
Yeah.
And then people that run the rides are called jocks. So
Okay.
ride jock. People.
I know what all those words mean, and
Yeah.
none of them mean what you just described.
right.
So if you're in the carny world,
Yeah, you're a mark if you're not in the carny world.
I knew that.
Yeah,
I knew
shocker.
that. It's like we should. Why don't you just call them fucking assholes? Like, hey, let's get these fucking assholes
But
money.
it'd be like, you go when you get to a new town, you'd watch the marks how they drive to know if you needed to go the speed limit or not. Like if everybody's going the speed limit, that means
Oh,
no
so
speed.
it's basically that a mark is any
Just
non-carny.
any non-carny.
Okay,
Yeah,
when
it's
I
like a
think
muggle.
when I think of mark, I think of like that's my mark. That's who I'm going to
well,
make money
that's
off
why.
of.
I mean, that's the thing. Everyone in
Everyone
town
is
a
someone you
mark.
can make money off of. It's
Potentially.
just like if you're a hooker, everyone's a John.
Just
everyone
the guys. Some
could
of them are
be.
James.
I mean, there are a lot of couples that have threesomes with escorts.
So
I've known
you've
some.
heard.
I've known some. I've got friends.
Right.
I got cool friends.
Right? Poor
They're
Roy.
sex workers.
Shout
They're
out to
sex
Roy.
workers.
He doesn't have
No,
any
it's
friends
not
right now.
Roy.
No, I didn't mean Roy. Well, this will be my last appearance on the
No, fuck,
Rattlesnake
no.
Roy. All right. So
So the marks.
the marks. Yeah. So I was a jointy.
Okay.
You roll into town. It's canvas and stick joints.
Canvas.
No, that's not canvas.
It is close enough.
Okay. You'd make a terrible carny. Congratulations. But you're an excellent mark.
I'm just defining the terms.
All right. And if you have like the cotton candy thing
nice.
with the popcorn, that's a popper. They're all poppers.
Okay.
So a food trailer is a popper.
Okay, so you got a deep fryer. And, okay.
There's like a family that owns a popper and they travel with the show.
Right,
and there's
right.
this guy, Pete, that has 6 stick joints and he travels with the
Okay,
show.
okay.
And then that's Liddell shows. And then when they do these big county fairs, whoever the host show is, it used to be Liddell shows back then, as
Right.
Liddell was the umbrella.
So
that
he
they
was a
all
big
came-
shit back then.
Not,
Ish.
not Pete, but Liddell.
Yeah, Liddell, yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out Liddell. He's probably dead now.
That guy definitely is. And I hope his asshole coquette son is too.
I
But
mean,
whatever.
most guys that are in that business, would you say most guys in that business are assholes? Like, just terrible people?
Yeah. I mean, not like
A lot of comedy promoters are that way, too.
Carnies get a
I'm
bad
not.
rap. And a lot
Because of those types?
a lot of it, but it's just like anywhere else in this
Yeah.
hierarchy.
Yeah.
The show owners are the rich. They
I mean,
got the nicest
yeah.
RVs,
Okay.
and they spend all the money they want to spend.
As
And
Jason
then,
Cave would say, this is proof that communism doesn't work.
Right. Well,
Fuck
and
that.
then like the jointies are
Yeah.
usually the addicts
Yeah.
and the no places to
Oh,
live.
okay.
And
So they're just on the road.
Yeah.
Where do you guys sleep when you're...
There's bunk trailers. Like you want to work for somebody that has a bunk trailer, so you don't have to spend money on hotels. Now we always stayed in motels. My dad and I.
Okay. I was going to say, he put his 13-year-old daughter
No. And he was
a bunch of
surprisingly
carnies?
strict for because
Your dad was?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Like-
He wanted to make sure you were safe.
Yeah, exactly.
Did your brothers do this too?
No, they were already gone.
Okay. So he got into it a little after
Yeah,
they
so
left
like,
home.
yeah, when I was 13, the next kid up was 18.
So 13 to 16, did you enjoy this?
Oh, I fucking loved it.
Man.
Dude, with the protector.
There's an episode of The Simpsons where Homer and Bart are carnies. Have you
Yeah,
seen that
yes.
one? Bart has so much fun. And
Dude.
then carnies squat in their house.
Yeah. And you don't want that. You never
Never let a carny stay at your house.
Never go to a carny with the second location. Never go with a carny to a second location.
I mean, that's true about, like, most women have that view
Yeah.
of men in bars.
Yeah.
Never go with the men in a bar to a second location.
But as like a young teenage girl,
Rightfully so.
first of all, I could ride everything for free.
Yeah.
all I wanted to.
And 13 to 16 is peak
Yeah.
age for doing
Now,
dumb shit
13
like
was the
riding
best
carnival rides.
because I was just along for the ride.
Yeah.
Then I started working.
Okay.
But I made my own money, and so like I'd come back from the summer,
Nice.
and have
Like how much money are we talking?
Well, like, and again, I'm going out.
These
like,
are these
we
are
would go and then come
1980s
home.
dollars.
Yeah.
These are like late 80s, early 90s
Yes.
dollars. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And
'Cause
so
you're roughly like the same age as some of my cousins, so I can put that in context with
Yeah.
like what year did you graduate? 94. My cousins, they graduated in 91, 90 or 91.
Yeah.
So it's
My
like
brother graduated
and then my other cousin graduated in 97. So like they're or 96, just right
and
around the same age.
At 13, I was about this height, so
Yeah.
so we lied to a
Yeah,
lot of
I
people about
graduated
how
in
old I actually
01,
was.
so it's like yeah,
for starters.
So rightfully so.
Yeah, but then so like I would come back from the summer with $500 of
That's
my
not
own
bad.
money.
That's not bad for back
but
then.
and it's not like I was like we would leave here, go to Hobbs for the week, come back,
Yeah.
and then meet back up with
Yeah.
them in Artesia
Yeah.
the next week and come
Okay,
back,
okay.
And
Yeah.
I didn't like my dad's paying for the.
And this is your first
motel
job,
room.
basically.
Oh God, no.
Okay, you said your family had restaurants,
Yeah.
and that's why you don't sort silverware.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, before I was a
So
hillbilly,
we'll
I
talk
was
more
a
about that, but I
dishwasher.
want to hear about the carny shit.
Yeah, dude, as a teenager with a protector.
Yeah.
That and that like because
Yeah.
I didn't get like when the night was over, we went.
You
to
weren't
Denny's,
going and
we
hanging
ate,
out
and
with
we-
like
yeah.
dudes, townies, or
Not
you weren't
unless
hanging out
my-
with Marks.
Oh no, never Marks.
But some of the other carnies.
Yeah, and
If
there's-
another did other carnies bring their kids?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
I mean, like, and there was
So there were kids your age there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wasn't hanging out with them either, but
Why not?
because there were older people to hang out with.
Oh, you preferred hanging out with older people than the
Always,
other kids?
always.
Why? Huh, weird.
Well, there wasn't like another 13-year-old girl there.
Oh, I see.
But,
I see.
And
Okay.
also, any kids there, if they were old enough, they were working something.
Oh, okay.
So
you were hanging out with like
Yeah.
high school age and college age.
and
Even the adults.
grown
yeah.
carnies. Yeah.
Was your dad usually always
dad,
around?
Constantly.
Okay.
That's
So
what I'm
you
saying.
didn't
So
go
whoever
off by
he
yourself.
Was, yeah. No.
Okay.
No.
So
actually, there was one summer I did get to go with a different. Like the show split up, and he went
cool.
one, and I went.
Oh, wow.
And that was the best week of my life.
how old were you then?
15.
Okay, man.
And
So it was like going to
Rhode
summer
Island-
camp.
But there was this like
Except
17,
with dangerous and cotton candy.
17 and 19-year-old brothers from Killeen.
Oh yeah.
That's who I was hanging out
Oh,
with.
okay.
Yeah, at the pool.
Is this leading up to like a
No.
story?
not.
And then I got gangbanged by these brothers.
No. Right, no, because that's the thing. Like, I was never that left alone. Ever.
Okay.
Even
Who was watching? Who was your guardian when you went off with your
the lady that owned the joints?
Okay, so
but
dad's acquaintance or friend. Yeah.
But she was hitting the older brother while her husband was at the other.
Oh, so this like
So we were-
17-year-old boy was
No,
banging
19,
the 19-year-old
19.
boy. How old was this lady?
She was probably like 36, 37.
Okay.
And pretty hot.
Okay.
And-
That's how a lot of 19-year-old boys lose their virginity. Not me though.
Yeah. And
I was 23.
yeah.
God damn it.
Anyway,
I hate
and
saying
then-
that out loud.
And
I
then
was
the
too
best
old.
part every year was
Yeah.
when the fair came here.
Yeah.
And I'm in school and
Yeah.
I'm not popular.
But you got to
we
see
get
your
to
friends.
the fairgrounds. I know all these motherfuckers.
You weren't popular? You
My
were
brothers
like,
were.
Yeah, I saw pictures of you when
I
you were
mean-
younger. I would see like, oh yeah, she looked like she was cool.
My class was 36 people. There were like
Okay.
4 popular kids.
Okay.
And I wasn't one of them.
Oh, so you had to be rich to be. Were there
Yeah.
rich people in New Deal?
Well, yeah, not they seem like it. They're farmers.
Oh, okay, so they had nicer
income.
stuff.
They had, yeah.
Like that, their dad could buy them a truck, like an '85 model truck. He's like,
Yeah.
this truck's only 4 years old.
Yeah, and actually,
Yeah.
we would also occasionally like I don't know. Do you know Trumbull Crane and Rigging?
Nope.
It's
I
anyway,
am not a
there's a-
redneck or
it's-
ag in any way.
It's a crane company here
Okay.
in town.
Nope.
But anyway, one of their
never worked
kids
construction
in
either.
high school got kicked out of Coronado for
Okay.
having a gun,
Oh shit!
and so they
Was his
moved
name
to New
Kevin
Deal.
Smith?
No.
Okay. I have a friend. One of my friend's
If you
brothers
paid
got
any
kicked
attention,
out.
you'd at least know his last name.
Trumbull or Crane. His last name is Craig because they
Yes.
invented cranes.
Yes, it's Crane. Anyway,
So Donald Trump went to high school with you.
Yeah, well, I mean, essentially. But like they bought a big, nice place
Really?
out there.
Oh,
and
wow.
he had a faded step side.
I don't know
mean,
anything of New Deal other
Yeah.
than driving through on my way to
there's-
like
there's
Plainview or
nothing to
Amarillo
know.
or something.
They
Yeah.
just got a Dollar General.
I know, I've
and
seen it.
Wendy's. I mean, like that's all been in
If
the last.
that's the perception of we just got one of these.
Yeah, like that's big news.
Because
But
like
anyway,
Lubbock, I look down on people that are like Olive Garden's great. So
but yeah,
you
so we'd go to the show. We'd go
you
to the
carved
fair.
for like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, just in the summers. And
So let's just say, for instance, did you know who was like running those rides?
yeah. Yeah, 9 times out of 10 is a real big dude named Tiny.
And
And
you
then there
weren't
was
working.
Worm. And yeah, no, I wouldn't work during school.
So you're like, I want to ride the Himalaya
Yeah.
17 times.
Yes. And my friends were like, "You know them?" And these, I mean, looking back now,
That's
cool
though. That's cool.
I was the coolest thing I ever did, man. Well, except for that time we got Zelda
I'm
before
ma-
everyone else.
I'm mad at my. You got what before everyone?
Zelda, the Legend
Oh,
of Zelda, the
yeah.
gold NES.
So Carney's had video games too.
Well,
they had
this
that
was
Carney money.
This was off season, but
Okay.
yeah.
Was it on Game Boy or was it like the
No, it was
original
the
NES?
NES,
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
I mean, they were around the same time.
No,
I mean, I don't know.
no.
Carney's can be portable.
No, this was 90, like
Man,
89, 90.
my
There was
first-
no Game
I mean,
Boy.
that wasn't my first job, but around the same age, the jobs I had sucked.
Yeah.
I was like mowing lawns. I was going and like taking out the trash. And, and my dad worked for a copier company. Like they installed and maintained. It's like Hoagland Office Equipment. Shout out
Yeah.
to them. They're fine. So they leased and service copiers. So my dad, because like if a lot of offices have a copy machine, they don't own that.
When
they
I
don't
worked
own
at
that.
Tech,
They
we
lease
had
it.
a contract with
Hoagland.
With Hoagland.
Yeah. Who did you
and
know?
Tascosa.
Did you know who your Hoagland guy was?
I did then.
Okay, yeah.
That was
so a lot. Some of
pre-2010.
those guys, like Galen, fucking great guy. He was a pallbearer at my dad's funeral. They still work there. Like
Yeah,
they work
nice.
on because it's a family owned company. They
Yeah.
treat people pretty well. I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
so my dad worked there for damn near 20 years.
Yeah,
they
and
gave
every
him a
year-
watch on his 10th or 15th anniversary.
Nice.
Yeah,
Way
I
to
mean,
go, Hoagland.
and they
Way to
were
be a good company.
they were family friends. Oh, he would say Hoagland. It's spelled like Hogland. So I was like, what is
Yeah.
that, a butcher shop?
Yeah.
Because
as a former Haggard, I got
I know.
Hoggard.
Hyman. I
Yeah.
adopted. I embraced my last name, but my friend Bryce Hoagland, who's the grandson of the family. Shout out to him.
Hey, Bryce. How you doing?
He's like you. He doesn't go by his real last name. He goes by Bryce Arthur. So check out his music, and also
nice.
also his band. Here Come Here. So
Here
Bryce
Come-
Arthur. His girlfriend is Johnny Knoxville's personal assistant. I don't know if she still is, but she was. I grew up with him. I turned him on to Weird Al.
I know someone who slept with Johnny Knoxville, but I'm not going to talk about it because they don't do that
Yeah.
kind of thing.
So yeah, but his band is called Here Come Here.
Here, come here.
They like opened for like Jonathan Davis from Korn.
Oh,
Like they're
nice.
like metal kind of
Yeah.
really talented guys.
Right on.
Yeah,
I'll check it
Bryce,
out.
honestly, this is crazy to me. He attributes because I made an album. Bryce is like 5 or 6 years younger than me. So I made an album when I was with the band in 2002.
The
when I
Christian.
was ish. I'll give you a
Ish.
copy of the CD.
Okay.
It was like pseudo Christian. When I think of Christian music, I think of a specific genre that sucks, and my music definitely sucked back then. But we were going for like we wanted to sound like the Gin Blossoms, REM,
I'd
Collective
be
Soul.
lying if I said I didn't know who. Well, crap! Now I just went blank on there.
Toad the Wet Sprocket was one of my favorite bands back then. Also, like
Not
local.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to think.
Are
of
you
this
DC Talk? Are you
DC
talking
Talk? Yes, thank you.
Jars of Clay was a band that I fucked with back then. But yeah, I worked for Hoagland Office Equipment, but I made an album and I sent it to like all family and friends. And Bryce, who was like 13 or 14 at the time when I put out that album, it was the first time he realized that you could make music on your own.
Nice.
Like he's like, and I didn't even make that on my own. I
Right.
went to Michael Mayer's studio,
Nice.
Perfect Circle, that was here in town from like 01 to 04 or something down the road from Park Tower. But yeah, Bryce, so his dad bought him the equipment and he started making home recordings because at that time it was really super easy. And I actually do that still a little bit with Derek and myself.
Yeah.
And I don't really release that much. Like our audio only podcast
Yeah.
had a theme song that I wrote and recorded, and I did a
pretty great.
What's Nesquik? Yeah. I was listening to that on the way.
FUX Radio.
Yeah, from the FUX radio. That I love that intro. I wish we could. I might need to pull that and have Roy do an audio intro sometime.
He said this thing does magic.
Yeah,
so make it happen.
I wanted to do our new segment.
Yeah,
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you okay with it? Because we can wrap up in like 10 minutes.
Oh,
we can each take 5 minutes to tell.
I probably won't need that long, but
Oh
I can
shit!
drag it
I will
out.
need longer.
Okay, good. Well, you go first.
Okay, I'll go first.
Okay.
So this segment is called Breaking Hyman, and it's how we lost our virginity. It's not a compulsory thing. It's not compulsory. The guests don't have to tell. They can opt out. But if you're going to be a guest on the show and you want to share your virginity story, how you lost it, who you lost it to, that's all we need to know.
If you want to share someone else's story, so long as you don't name names or have consent, I'll welcome that too.
Yeah. So
Just
I'm
a
sharing
Breaking Hyman
two stories.
story.
I'm sharing two stories because we lost our virginities to each other.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
Two people, one story.
But it's weird because I'll preface this. I was having a conversation a long time ago with my friend John Boyle, who I haven't seen in forever. He's also a smoker.
Where have you been, John
I would have
Boyle?
him on this podcast. I love John Boyle, but I have not seen him since I worked at the Strip in like 2008.
Oh, God dang. Boyle, are you okay?
He's fine. He had 3 or 4 kids.
Shit, he might not be okay.
He's probably still in Lubbock. He told me one time he smoked
like
Camel Wides. And he told me the last time I saw him, or one of the last times, he's like, dude, once cigarettes are over $5 a pack, I ain't smoking anymore. I sold him cigarettes the last time I saw him, and I'm pretty sure they were over $5 a pack in 2008.
They were at the Strip.
Yeah, they were at the Strip. He was buying booze too with his wife.
Yeah, that's how they got us.
But so John Boyle and me were saying, he's like, virginity is a stupid concept. For a man, it is. It's like, oh, has your penis
touched the inside
of a vagina? We counted any time as a man. If another person, if you're a gay man, or anything, if another person has made you come, like you could not have come without their help, that's you losing your virginity. A woman, if you want to define it as your hymen being broken, and that doesn't always happen. The first time I put my penis in a vagina, there was no blood. It felt fine.
You want to tell him, or should I?
Okay. She might. No. I have read this. This is just like the Jamie Lee.
No, it can happen. No,
it can. It doesn't always break. It can, but it doesn't always.
And it can happen.
It can happen while the girl. Yeah,
it can happen.
You ever seen the movie Chasing Amy?
Yeah.
Yeah, she talks about landing on a fence post.
Oh, okay.
But a lot of girls are horse girls because they probably had their first orgasm or broke their hymen while riding horseback. Is that not true?
That is. I think most is probably an overstatement.
Some. That's why they. It feels good between their fucking pussy legs. It feels good.
This part is accurate.
Okay,
go on.
Whatever. To ride a horse.
Yeah.
My ex-wife, fucking the first time she made herself come was with one of those wiggle pins that goes, and then she said later she fuck a IBC root beer bottle up her. Yeah, so that might have broke her hymen. I didn't ask.
What I was going to say.
I didn't ask her.
I can almost promise you it did. If it
I never asked
already...
her. Did you ever make your pussy bleed ever?
Yeah. Well,
because I did a couple times, but there's vaginal tearing and stuff.
He's a big
fucking
boy.
On the period. I have a huge cock.
And open for red herring.
Okay, so I was good at the virginity story. Yeah,
gymnast.
Okay,
that there a lot of it can tear just by being overstretched.
Okay, yeah,
that's what I mean. And so a lot of girls don't even know.
A funny virginity story back in the medieval times, or even more recently, Puritan. To prove that their daughters was a virgin, they threw goat blood on a sheet and then hung it out. Because if she didn't bleed a lot,
then she would.
So that's how that rumor started, where it's like, you fucking bleed a whole liter of blood when you have your first period, or you have your.
No,
so guys are always scared of periods and stuff. Like, I'll fuck a woman on her period. Who cares? I mean. If it's a light-ish flow.
Blood is blood. Do you know what semen is? It's people. You tell me which one is grosser.
Soil and green is people, as is semen.
Yeah, Michael Che has a joke.
So there's no...
I can't hold back a million people.
After my... That's funny. That's funny. after I had my vasectomy, guys would say like, "Is it like a different color, or is your jizz
Your
like
semen?
is it because the sperm?" And I'm like, "No, but it tastes a lot different."
It's not as
that's
fizzy
the joke.
as it
You
used to
can't
be.
feel it moving. You can't feel the sperm moving anymore, wiggling in your mouth. It's like
Trying
they're
to
the size
escape.
of tadpoles.
Where's the egg?
So,
Tonsil.
so
Damn it,
basically,
tonsil.
basically, this is what I consider my virginity. The first time my ex-wife made me come. Because I like finger blasted her or whatever around
Yeah.
the time and stuff. And it was like, I couldn't even tell you the date I put my penis in her vagina. It was before we were married. We're sinning.
What?
But that's why we got married so early, because we wanted
Yeah.
to live together and fuck. And her dad was a preacher. My parents are very religious. I would live with a woman now without being married to her. I have no problem
But
with
you
that.
did it then too, so
No, we didn't live together until we were okay.
Okay.
So we didn't live together until we were married. There's a misnomer. She moved into my parents' house. She was in my brother's old room. I was in my room, and my parents were like, "Now you better not fuck after we go to sleep." Did we fuck after they went to sleep? I don't know. But we were fucking before
your mom
that too.
doesn't
But
watch these, right?
if she does, she knows what she's getting in for.
right? I mean, you
My cousins and my aunt and uncle, I think, have watched them. So who cares?
nice.
So and they were all present for this happening. It was
They were sleeping too.
me and my ex had been dating for like 6 weeks, 2 months, or whatever. I don't know if I had met her family, because her family was living in Kansas at the time, and we stayed at different places whenever I was there. I was not allowed to stay at their
under the
house.
same roof. Yeah.
Actually, no, I was the first night, but then the next consecutive 2 nights, I stayed at a preacher's house, and my ex stayed at her friend's house. But we went to another town 30 miles over. So, and her friend's parents were like, "We don't want him staying here because we don't know him."
Yeah.
And so I stayed at the preacher's house. The preacher was a single guy. So, but whatever. So about 6 weeks after we started dating, we'd known each other. We met a couple weeks before we started dating. And then kind of friends set us up. Fuck those friends. Fuck you, Jeremy.
Are they
Fuck you,
friends?
Raylan.
Are they friends?
I don't know. Jeremy was in my wedding. He was a groomsman.
Yeah.
He didn't invite me to his wedding. It's because I'm white.
Well,
it
might
is.
be because he knew
No, it's
he was
because
going to
I'm
be
white.
in trouble. Okay.
No. He got married before I was divorced.
Oh.
I was like, "You were at our wedding, dude."
Is he not white?
He's the only black person that was at my wedding.
At least you had one.
I
mean, a wedding.
I know we
kidding.
had some Hispanic people. He might have been the only one. I'm pretty sure he was.
Odds are good.
Yeah, odds were good. But I mean, we were Church of Christ. There's not a lot of Church of Christ black people unless they go to predominantly whatever family reunion. It was the family reunion in Alney, Texas. My ex-wife, I won't say her name.
The bitch.
Was the bitch. She was staying. I have her as cunt in my phone. So she, and then her boyfriend, because one time her phone got shut off, and now it says cunt's boyfriend because she had to call me from his number
I
one
used to
time.
put ex cunt.
Yeah, ex cunt. Yeah. She's
Anyway.
still a cunt. She's not my ex-wife.
True.
So
All right.
we were at the family reunion, and I think I'd finger blast her, and she's like, "I want to make you come," and I'm like, "Okay, I want you to do that," but she
Yeah.
didn't want to blow me because we hadn't done that yet. We weren't doing like oral because
Yeah.
you build up,
Yeah,
or whatever. So she let me titty fuck her because she tried to, and I'm like, if I could come in your tits, that would be so much.
That would
easier.
help a
That would be
lot.
so much easier.
And you have said
so we had
that she had nice
awesome
tits
tits,
and yeah.
awesome tits, like real big towards the end, like triple D or something. They were probably a good CD, but she gained weight, as women tend to do.
And they were young.
Yeah, they were younger
young
then
kids.
and higher
not
and hurt, but yeah, no, awesome tits.
adult.
I've titty, if a girl has big tits, I like to titty fuck her. If she doesn't want me to just straight up fuck her, because I prefer vagina. So,
if
but yeah,
she doesn't
we
have
got
big
some.
tits,
We got
please
some
don't-
lotion.
Hang on, this is important.
We got some lotion. I titty fucked her.
fine.
I jizzed between her titties. Yeah, and that's how I lost my virginity.
I don't think you did. I don't think that counts.
Well, I came in her pussy like later.
Yeah.
After she was on birth control.
But yeah, and I never really thought about
We
the
use
guy
condoms
coming
sometimes.
part. Like I
don't like using condoms because they
Shocker.
don't feel good.
Nobody likes using condoms. It's just
Fucking liberals do.
Okay, Jason. Cage,
that is the
libertarian.
dumbest take I've
Right.
ever said.
Yeah.
So, all right, that's my story.
I was trying to do
I
it.
was 23. I hate that I was that old. I should have lost it when I was 17 or something. I don't know. Okay, this is the reason. I married her because I felt an obligation she was the first woman I ever seriously dated, first woman. If I had fucked other women when I was too young to fuck, I wouldn't have put her on a pedestal like I did.
Right.
If I, so that's why I regret it.
Right.
For me, it's about like that regret in life, but it also ties back to like, I'm such a loser. I didn't fuck before I was 23. That is a personal thing that I'm working on in counseling. It's nobody's job other than mine to fix that about myself.
Good, because I don't. And I mean,
a lot of guys that lose them later, they'll say, "Look, I was 18, I was later," and I hear that, and I'm like, "That ain't bad. That ain't bad,
right?
Really."
Well, but
did you lose it while you were college age? Because I was like, technically, should have graduated college.
Your environment worked against you a great deal in that regard, and
it did
probably.
Homeschool,
attribute
Christian University,
to you being a good person now and then and always.
Yeah, I care about most of the women I have sex with, unless I pay them. That's a joke.
I pay to not care. Okay, that's worth it though. I mean, that would be. I would imagine.
Yeah.
All right.
So it was at a carnival, obviously.
No. No. But you brought up, I wanted my PSA I was trying to say a minute ago. If a girl does not have big tits, please don't try to titty fuck her.
Don't fuck her at all. Don't fuck her at all. It's not worth it.
Don't listen to him. Small.
C cup plus.
Anyway, obviously I am taken care of very well, but by my husband. But
good for him.
I'm just saying, for those of you still out there, don't try it. It's not going to make anybody feel good. Just don't do it, okay? Definitely have sex with the smaller tittied women also.
Yeah, they're great.
But don't do that. All right.
To
the more
date,
you know.
not marry.
Yeah. All right. So I don't, like I was alluding to, Hyman's break care for a lot of reasons besides
are you
sex.
going to opt out?
I don't have
a good a good sex story.
Okay. It just like I don't remember it. I don't know what
you were
I remember
drunk.
Being. No, I was a little fucking kid, and I was like, that's the other thing. I had a lot of kidney problems. I had kidney surgeries. I had catheters. That's probably why I don't remember it.
Okay.
And I don't know if that scientifically if you can have a catheter and maintain a hymen. I don't know.
Okay.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I had shit going on.
So you're talking about
early,
hymens, not virginity.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So I don't have a busted hymen story.
Oh, I didn't care about that.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't need the blood.
I mean, it's breaking hymen. But
we're literal.
My favorite. Okay. So I was in high school.
Yeah.
This is a story about me not having sex. I was in high school.
Gave some guy blue balls.
And he deserved them. And I was seeing sort of this guy that was in college, and he.
How old were you?
I was 17.
17. Okay, good age. Good age.
Actually, I might have been 16.
Whatever.
16 or 17.
It was.
But
the 80s.
I mean, I was 17 when I graduated high school, so whatever. My birthday's in the summer, and so he's in college. He was from Anton. He was a freshman, and he was a kicker for Texas
Anton's
Tech.
Smaller than New Deal.
Yeah. And anyway, he was a kicker for Tech. And I'm in his dorm room at Sneed, right?
Yeah.
Sneed Hall. And we're laying on his cot, his bed in the dorm room.
Hopefully his roommate was out of the room.
Yeah, no roommate. He didn't have a roommate.
Okay.
And
fancy.
Yeah.
He was a kicker, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, like, and but he was like a sports science major.
Oh, okay. Of course.
Yeah.
Fake major.
Right,
Fake
right?
major. Yeah.
And so we're making out on his bed.
Awesome.
And like he's
for him, not you. Not you.
I mean, and we're still clothed, but like he's mostly on top of me. We're kissing.
Yeah.
He's probably got his hand up my shirt.
Cool.
And then he starts.
Good job, kicker.
Yeah. And then he starts rubbing.
Yeah.
My shoulder.
Yeah.
Like my. Yeah. And he's like, "That's your cervix." He said cervix. And I said...
He meant clavicle.
I I got a curfew. I got to go home. And I got up and left.
So he didn't bang you.
We did not have sex.
Wow.
I was like, this is a clavicle, and I got to go.
He was a first semester sports science major. He didn't learn the big.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
So that's my not busting Hyman story. But
Wow.
yeah, I was just
All right,
now,
you broke the rules.
a few years later.
A few years later?
Yeah, after that, we hooked back up.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Well, good
and
for him then.
It was worth. Oh man, yeah, he had a great body.
Of course
He
he
was
did.
just
He was
really
a kicker.
dumb. He was just really,
Of
really
course
dumb.
he was. He was a kicker.
Yeah.
Was he like from Eastern? No, you said he was from Anton. A lot of there's a stereotype about Eastern European kickers because they're good at soccer,
Right,
So they
right.
can fucking kick the ball. Like,
You're right.
yeah, good.
All right.
That was a fun episode.
I enjoyed it.
All right, cool. Thank you for watching Breaking Hyman. I'm Morgan.
Lori Amber, be nice
Hey.
to carnies.
Sure, why not?
Or don't.